Hey everybody, it's Mr. Kleber here for Nerd Without a Herd, the podcast, vlogcast that is about interesting things and interesting people and interesting ideas. Some of you have been asking me, how come I haven't had a episode out? And that's because we've been kind of busy down here at Canyon Ridge getting ready for graduation. We're working on a virtual graduation, working with the district on that, and working on some stuff. So there's plenty of stuff coming, but what I want to share with you today is a quick little vlogcast. I'm in my classroom. I'm here today to work on our virtual graduation, and I've been coming down here a couple days to do that, and every time I walk into my classroom, I feel such joy and such peace. And I was thinking today, this is one of my happy places. So this is today's topic: find versus make. Find versus make. This one's going to be a little run and gun, so bear with me. So here's the thing: you hear a lot of people say, "Find your happy place." Yeah, maybe. But when we're talking about education, I think you got to make your happy place. I mean, my classroom is a place of great joy. It gives me great inner peace. I'm just happy to be here. I wish I had my students with me because that brings life to this place. But I started to think there's probably a lot of educators out there who their classroom isn't a happy place. It's probably a place of struggle. It's probably a place of toil, and that breaks my heart. And so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk to those educators real quick about this concept of find versus make. You may be looking for a happy place outside of work because your current classroom situation isn't that. I believe you can make your classroom a happy place. I have worked very hard over the years to cultivate that and to protect that. So I want to talk about three things that helps me make this my happy place. Number one, a culture of joy. And that is so important, that this classroom inside these four walls, once that door closes, whatever happens out there, to me, to my students, to the world, stays out there. In here for 58 minutes, we're a culture of joy. And here's something I've had to confront as an educator. I'm the peacemaker or the peace taker at any moment in my classroom. It's me. I'm in charge. I get to make that choice. Am I the one who makes peace and brings peace, or am I the one who takes it by the way I react to things and react to students? And I choose every day to be a peacemaker. And that is a whole nother podcast that we can go into depth on later. But the other thing, the big one, is I choose joy. I fight for joy. It's so easy to be disrailed in this world. It's so easy when you're having a bad day because of traffic or home life, and a kid comes in and says something snide to you. But remember, again, if you haven't had a chance to look into the trauma-informed schools, that kid is coming from somewhere else. And I'm going to fight for my joy. I'm going to be a peacemaker. I'm going to use the tools and the strategies from Dr. Ron Powell that I love to work through that. But at the end of the day, this is my classroom. This is our home. This is our family for 58 minutes. And as the leader of that, I'm going to fight for peace. I'm going to fight for joy. Second thing is, it's a creative space. I don't care what you're teaching, math, science, chemistry, creativity is where learning happens. And I love, if you look back there on the wall, we're high schoolers and we do origami, and we use that to do personal symbolism, and we write about it. But creativity empowers. I think a classroom should be a creative space at every level. Creativity empowers. There's a great quote from Steven Kotler, an author that I ran across last summer, that his definition of creativity is forming new connections between existing materials. And I love that from an academic perspective. And now you're talking about, higher level work skills. And then the third thing is a place of clear purpose. Don't tell my bosses, but this room isn't about content standards. This room isn't about the 4 C's. This room isn't about all those things. Now, I will say, those are great tools to help me get to my clear purpose. But my clear purpose for my classroom, as I have defined it for years now, is number one, as an English teacher, I want to build critical thinkers and effective communicators. If I can take my kids out of their past experiences and coach them up to be a little bit better at thinking critically and a little bit better at communicating effectively, then I've done my job. Now, the English standards, Common Core standards, are great for that. The different strategies, Marzano, EL, whatever, great for that. So 4 C's, all these things become tools to help me achieve this. And then the other thing is I'm really passionate about is I want to prepare young people for an unscripted future. This word is underlined for a reason. Number one, at my school, a lot of my kids come in with a script in hand that they've written or the world has written, and they're living by that script. And they think intellectually, educationally, socially, they're stuck to that script. I want to rip up that script and give them a new one that shows them how education and being creative and curious and an independent learner can rewrite that script, but also the future. I mean, college, career, we see right now more than ever just how nebulous that is. But if you give young people the tools to be independent, self-empowered learners, I think we're preparing them for that unscripted future. So these are the three things I focus on in my class that help me just build a place I'm glad to be on a daily basis, and a place I've been yearning for, and a place that I yearn to have filled with kids again, because we have a clear purpose, because it is a creative space, and because it is a culture of joy. So, bottom line, if you are successful in your classroom and you love it, maybe examine why. Articulating that may help you just grow that. If you're not, if you're struggling, you can do like some people. You can blame administration, you can blame culture, you can blame students, you can blame COVID. But at the end of the day, it's your classroom. You get to be the peacemaker or the peace taker. You get to design what that culture is going to be. So if you are struggling, what do you want the culture to be? What do you want the purpose to be? And what do you want that space to be defined by? I mean, it doesn't have to be those. Come up with your own stuff. But until you articulate that, until you write that down, until you develop a process and agenda, you're going to continue to struggle. And if you are struggling and you don't know how to go about this, and you're one of my HUSD brothers or sisters, email me, jason.kleber@HUSD or at HesperiaUSD.org. I'll do whatever I can. I'll come visit your classroom. We'll talk. We'll talk culture. We'll talk space, whatever it takes. And there's the bell. I'm out. Nerd Without a Herd. Hopefully this helps some of you. Talk to you later. Bye.